Good evening. Welcome to California Today. I'm Liang Zhang. Here's a preview of some of today's stories. For weeks, speculation had been floating around on whether or not Governor Newsom will go for a 2024 presidential run. Now that he has won another 4 years as governor, he took a moment to address the rumors. Another pilot program for universal basic income has come to the state. Certain people will receive up to just over $1,000. Holiday shopping is gearing up and highway patrol officers are increasing their presence in shopping centers. California Governor Gavin Newsom talked about his plans for 2024 as speculation circulated that he will run for president. That's as he just won another 4 years as California's governor in the midterm elections.
After winning another 4 years as California's governor, many have speculated that Governor Gavin Newsom will potentially run as a candidate for the 2024 presidential elections. During a recent interview with Politico, 55-year-old Newsom reportedly told the White House that he will not challenge President Joe Biden in 2024 and insisted he would not run even if Biden didn't run. He said, quote, "I've told everyone in the White House from the Chief of Staff to the First Lady." The Golden State governor said that he would not challenge Biden because infighting in the Democratic Party will hurt the chances of the party's candidate winning in 2024. That's especially against two potential Republican candidates, former President Donald Trump and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Though portrayed as a rising star in the Democratic Party by some media, Newsom did not receive as many votes during this election compared to the previous one. In 2022, Newsom received about 6.4 million votes. That was over 1 million less than in 2018, when he received 7.7 million. Nonetheless, he still won both elections by about 60%.
Nearly 2,000 low-income individuals in California will receive monthly basic income for up to 18 months. Funds will range from $600 to over $1,000.
The California Department of Social Services announced the first state-funded guaranteed income program on November 21st. 1,975 Californians, specifically former foster youth and pregnant women, will receive $600 to $1,200 per month. According to a press release, the pilot programs will provide regular cash payments intended to, quote, disrupt poverty, advance equity, and support the basic needs of recipients. Matt Zwolinski, a professor of philosophy at the University of San Diego, says the money can go a long way for those in need of assistance, like former foster children.
It's not clear to me that we're going to be seeing a truly universal basic income anytime soon because of this experiment. This, of course, isn't a universal program. It's a very narrowly limited program targeted at a specific group of individuals. So I think the political resistance to a fully universal program would still be pretty significant if anyone made an attempt to implement it anytime soon.
The department has awarded more than $25 million to 7 guaranteed income pilot projects. Those include the Inland Southern California United Way, the Los Angeles section of the National Council of Jewish Women, the Ventura County Human Services Agency, McKinleyville Community Collaborative, iFoster, Expecting Justice, and the San Francisco Human Services Agency. One concern with guaranteed income is the disincentive to work.
Why work when you're getting money from the government for nothing? I don't think that's much of an objection to this particular program in California. That's not enough to escape poverty by itself, so it's not enough to live on, really, without any additional income.
Zwolinski believes the cost of a permanent income program is the biggest obstacle facing universal basic income.
Taking the next step from a small-scale, short-term program to a large-scale permanent program, that's an awfully big step because it gets much, much more expensive once you up the scale of the program. And of course, if you're talking about a permanent program rather than a short-term one, that poses unique problems of its own.
The pilot programs were created to build on a similar pilot project in Stockton called the Stockton Economic Empowerment Demonstration. It was launched in 2019 and randomly selected 125 residents who received $500 per month for 2 years. David Lamb, NTD News, California.
The Highway Patrol is increasing its presence in shopping centers to stop organized retail theft during the holiday shopping season. That comes after the governor signed legislation in summer to expand one of the department's task forces.
The California Highway Patrol Organized Retail Crime Task Force increased its presence at shopping centers throughout the state starting on Black Friday. The goal is to tackle organized retail theft. Governor Gavin Newsom said this year shopping centers across California will see saturated patrols as CHP regional teams work with local law enforcement agencies to help make arrests and recover stolen merchandise. He said that since the inception of the task force, the CHP has been involved in 1,300 investigations and recovered 272,000 items of stolen retail merchandise. Newsom signed Assembly Bill 331 in July, which both extended and expanded the task force. The task force's regional teams collaborate with local law enforcement agencies and retailers to proactively address organized retail theft.
A California man pleaded guilty this week for making bomb threats at a train station. Court documents say the man took a plea deal with the prosecutor.
64-year-old Norman Emil Simpson was arrested on October 22nd for allegedly threatening to ignite an explosion at the Laguna Niguel Mission Viejo Metrolink station. Spokeswoman Carrie Braun of the Orange County Sheriff's Department said Simpson called authorities to say that he was planning to do some, quote, intentional harm at the location. That prompted a response by deputies, a SWAT team, a bomb squad, and the Orange County Fire Authority. As a precaution, the station was subsequently shut down along with 5 other businesses nearby. According to court records, Simpson pleaded guilty on Monday to a felony count of falsely reporting planting of a bomb and a misdemeanor count of criminal threats. As part of the plea deal, the prosecution dismissed 5 felony counts of attempted criminal threats with intent to terrorize and a misdemeanor count of falsely reporting an emergency. Simpson was placed on 2 years of probation.
Now we hear more about an after-school program called the Satan Club. It says it doesn't teach Satanism, but it's countering Christian programs.
The After School Satan Club is a program for schools offered by the Satanic Temple. On the temple's homepage, they describe the club with terms like educating with Satan and state that their archenemies are Christian clubs for kids. The club has recently come to Golden Hills Elementary School in California, where kids as young as 5 are eligible to join.
Parents need to be vigilant about who they allow to speak into the lives of their children.
Delano Squires is a research fellow at the Heritage Foundation with a focus on religion and family. He tells NTD he wouldn't let his kids join the club.
I don't think that there needs to be a false balance. The kids will get enough exposure to Satan in their daily lives going about what they do in the world. There's no reason to make a club out of it.
The professor at Golden Hills Elementary School who will lead the club reportedly said it's an alternative to the Christian club the school offers.
It's impossible for me to believe that they can start the club in that name and not have some of that worldview come out to children. I know the founder said they talk about science and reason, but you can talk about science and reason in the classroom.
He cites abortion and cross-sex procedures as examples. The Satanic Temple's co-founder said that the club's goal is to teach critical thinking and science, but not actually Satanism. He told NTD in a statement that they include Satan in the name because they don't need to conceal that the Satanic Temple is behind the club, similar to how Catholic hospitals have biblical names without demanding conversion from their patients.
I do believe that all children would benefit from exposure to the Bible, from exposure to Christian teaching.
The co-founder of the Satanic Temple says the focus of the Christian clubs is indoctrinating children into a viewpoint of biblical fundamentalism, adding, some people are eager to beat that type of traumatic superstition into their children's heads. Squires says there is value in biblical teachings. Reporting by Arian Pastar, NTD News.
We are going to take a short break, but here's a look at what we got for you when we come back. A new museum is open, showcasing all sorts of previously secret prototype cars from Tesla. That includes the model that started it all. The state is now allowing people to cut their own Christmas trees for free. That's in a certain forest towards the Sierras. But potential tree cutters need to act fast, as there are a limited number of permits. And speaking of Christmas, despite supply chain issues finally resolving somewhat, one key holiday ingredient has not caught up to demand: Santas. A holiday elf talks about the current situation. That and more on California Today. Welcome back to California Today. I'm your host, Liang Zhang. For fast food and burger lovers, an iconic California chain has a new t-shirt design for sale. They're also gearing up to honor their 75th anniversary.
In-N-Out announced the release of their new 2023 t-shirt last week. The new design was revealed on their social media accounts, featuring a 1970s Dodge Charger in front of California's first drive-thru hamburger stand in Baldwin Park. Besides the neon green In-N-Out sign, a row of their iconic palm trees, and the flames of the hot rod, the design is mostly gray-toned, giving it a retro look. Named Quality and Speed, this new shirt is now available for purchase online. The popular burger chain is gearing up to celebrate 75 years of delicious burgers, fries, and shakes and a unique drive-thru culture. The celebration will be held at the Pomona Fairplex, home of the Los Angeles County Fair, next October. According to the event organizers, there will be a car show, drag racing, concerts, and food. Harry and Esther Snyder started the first In-N-Out in 1948, and it has remained a family business despite tremendous popularity and growth. The company is now worth $3 billion, with locations in California, Nevada, Arizona, Utah, Texas, and Oregon.
Tesla's electric cars are the star of a new exhibition in Southern California. The show retraces the brand's early days up to its latest models.
At the Peterson Automotive Museum in Los Angeles, visitors can see the latest exhibit called Inside Tesla, Supercharging the Electric Revolution. It's an in-depth look into the past, present, and future of the electric automaker over its almost 20 years of existence, through 12 never-before-seen or rare vehicles.
What you'll see when you walk into the exhibit is prototypes, concept cars, and the entire visual history of Tesla as a brand. And when you look at what Tesla has accomplished in such a short period of time compared to the rest of the industry, specifically around electrification, it's an amazing story to see unfold. And that's what we've told here in this story, is the entire depiction of the cars and the ecosystem that Tesla has created.
The exhibition highlights a Tesla's design process, takes visitors right inside the cars, and shows how manufacturing is automated. The exhibit started as a small display in the basement, but had to make it to the main ground floor space to house all the car models.
This exhibit tells a success story, an unlikely success story, an American success story, and one that has actually become a global success story that will in some ways probably impact just about every person on the planet. We're talking about the electrification of the automobile, and there's no question that we're on a trajectory where that is going to become predominant worldwide, and all of it can be traced back to the success that Tesla has had and the story that we're presenting here in this exhibition.
The T0, an electric car built by American company AC Propulsion in the early 2000s, was an inspiration for the entire company. In 2018, Tesla founder Elon Musk tweeted, "Major credit to AC Propulsion for the T0 electric sports car 1997 to 2003 that inspired Tesla Roadster. Without that, Tesla wouldn't exist or would have started much later." The T0 helped create Tesla's first functional prototype in 2002. After that came the first mass-produced Tesla in 2008, the Tesla Roadster. It used to be Musk's personal car.
Automotive enthusiasm as a whole is kind of on a bit of a downturn, and so seeing, for example, the fact that Tesla's first car was an electric sports car brings a little bit of that excitement, because if you try to entice people with electric cars just on the climate change and the impact of the world, it's significant, but you kind of want to tickle that excitement, and so seeing it as a sports car, seeing the performance benefits, the capabilities, kind of excites the kids that are seeing this now, so then we'll be future enthusiasts down the line.
Another highlight of the exhibition is the 2021 Model S Plaid, a car which set a lap record for electric vehicles at what is considered the world's most demanding race circuit in Germany. In 2019, the company unveiled a highly anticipated pickup truck called the Cybertruck, with a futuristic and highly angular design. After numerous delays, the vehicle is scheduled to enter production in mid-2023. Additionally, the Cybertruck can store the smaller Cyberquad. Also expected on the road very soon is the Tesla semi-electric truck with a steering wheel in the middle. Due to its size, it had to be parked outside the museum's parking lot. With the cost of diesel fuel, many companies are anxiously awaiting its arrival. According to Musk, PepsiCo reserved 100 trucks and will be the first client to receive its order. The Semi recently entered production and deliveries should start in December. The exhibit also lightly highlights Musk's other ventures, including Hyperloop and SpaceX. The exhibit runs until October 2023.
Certain Californians will be able to cut down their own Christmas trees from a certain state forest for free. But there is a catch. A permit is required, and only certain types of trees may be cut down. That is to reduce fire hazards and help promote healthy forest growth.
The U.S. Forest Service, or USFS, announced last week that people can now get a free permit to go to the Stanislaus National Forest to cut their own Christmas tree. That's for the forest located between Tahoe and Yosemite. People can obtain a permit on the recreation.gov website. The website reads, "Christmas tree permits are being offered to the public in an effort to help remove hazardous fuel ladders that have built up over years of fire suppression. Removal of excessive amounts of small trees from the forest will help create a healthier forest over time." The permit applies to designated areas of the forest. Holiday lumberjacks need one to legally cut a tree. The Forest Service is limiting the number of permits to 5,000. They do require a $2.50 administrative fee to get one. As far as the trees that can be cut, restrictions are limited to cutting pine, fir, or cedar trees under 20 feet tall. They must have a stump diameter of 6 inches. The whole tree must be taken home. People are not allowed to cut off the top of a larger tree. USFS recommends selecting a tree in a dense area, as well as bringing measuring tape, gloves, boots, and rope. Permit holders should have a copy of the permit or a picture in their phone. They may not trespass onto private property or cut from campgrounds. People are also reminded to park safely on the side of the road and not block gates. USFS limits 2 trees per family or household.
Santa is back in town, but like many businesses, there is still a shortage as demand for the Jolly Man increases. NTD's Eileen Ang spoke to one of Santa's helpers to hear more on the current situation.
Merry Christmas! I wish you a Merry Christmas.
This year, people can expect to see more Santas during the holiday season, but there is still a shortage. According to the head elf of Hire Santa, a company that supplies Santas, Mrs. Claus, and elves for events, there is a 30% demand increase.
Every year, we struggle to fill all the requests that we get. We're seeing an increased demand. People are wanting to get back to that sense of normalcy and getting back to tradition. Having Santa come to their home, office, retail establishment in numbers we've never seen before.
Allen said they lost a number of Santas during the pandemic and haven't been able to keep up with finding and training new employees.
You got to look like Santa. We like to say real beard, real belly, and real jolly. You got to have that twinkle in your eye and that love of Christmas. At Hire Santa, all of our Santas are background checked, insured, professional entertainers. So you have to actually be a Santa Claus. So that really limits the number of people that we can hire for Santas.
All weekends in December are sold out in most markets. They had to turn down more business than ever before.
What we're seeing right now, the people reaching out to us are more for home visits or for corporate events, company appreciation events. People are reaching out to hiresanta.com to fill those types of events. And unfortunately, we're having to turn away so many of them because we're already sold out for many dates this season.
There has also been more interest in diverse Santas, like Black Santas, Deaf Santas, and Spanish-speaking Santas. But even with a shortage, Santa and his elves are looking forward to another jolly and Merry Christmas this year.
Now to NTD's Thomas Christian for an update on sports.
I'm Thomas Christian, giving you the California Today Sports Roundup.
Right-hander Mike Clevinger completed his return to the American League Central on Sunday after he agreed to a deal with the Chicago White Sox. MLB Network reported it is a one-year deal for the former Cleveland and San Diego starter, at a salary of, quote, more than $8 million. The 31-year-old Clevinger went 7 for 7 with a 4.33 ERA in 23 appearances for the Padres last season, as San Diego advanced to the NLCS. In 128 career appearances, Clevinger has gone 51-30 with a 3.39 ERA and 694 strikeouts over 656 and 2/3 innings. Now to the gridiron, Justin Herbert hit Austin Eckler on a 1-yard touchdown pass with 12 seconds remaining, then found Gerald Everett on a 2-point conversion pass as the Chargers bypassed overtime and pulled off a victory over Arizona at their home stadium in Glendale. The Chargers, who are now 6-5, punted on their first 3 fourth-quarter possessions, but finished off a 7-play, 38-yard drive in the final 2 minutes following a 20-yard punt return from DeAndre Carter. Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray played well in his return after missing 2 games with a hamstring injury, going 18 of 29 for 191 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Murray also had a rushing TD, while running back James Conner had 120 yards rushing for Arizona. Chargers 25, Cardinals 24. Patrick Mahomes threw for a touchdown, and rookie Isaiah Pacheco rushed for another to fuel host Kansas City over the injury-riddled Rams. Mahomes connected on 27 of 42 of his passing attempts for 320 yards. He completed passes to 10 different receivers, while Harrison Butker made 4 field goals to send the Chiefs to their 5th straight win. LA's Bryce Perkins threw a 7-yard touchdown pass to wideout Van Jefferson and had a team-high 44 rushing yards while making his first career NFL start. Perkins was playing in place of the injured Matthew Stafford and John Wolford for the Rams, who mustered just 198 total yards of offense en route to losing their 5th straight game. Chiefs 26, Rams 10. Jimmy Garoppolo passed to Jawan Jennings for the game's only touchdown, and host San Francisco handed New Orleans its first shutout loss in more than 20 years. Robbie Gould added 2 field goals, and Garoppolo completed 26 of 37 passes for 222 yards, as the 49ers won their 4th consecutive game. Andy Dalton completed 18 of 29 passes for 204 yards, but Alvin Kamara had just 50 yards from scrimmage and lost 2 crucial fumbles for the Saints. New Orleans reached a 1st and goal twice in the 4th quarter, trying to avoid the shutout and pull within 1 score, but the 49ers defense stood strong both times. It was the first time New Orleans failed to score in 333 games, dating back to Week 17 of the 2001 season, coincidentally also against the 49ers. 49ers 13, Saints 0.
And that's all for sports.
That's all we've got for you tonight. We'd like you to join us again on California Today every weekday at 8:30 p.m. Make sure to check out our broadcasts on our California Today webpage. You can find it at ntd.com/California-today. You can also find all of our top latest clips there, ready to share with friends and family. Send us a message on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, or through our email, california.today@ntd.com. I'm Liang Zhang. Have a wonderful evening.